How much do you really love yourself? How much do you take care of yourself? How much are you able to look back in life and say, hey, I was able to do one, two, three things, and I was able to make it by the grace of God. But I was not so dependent on everyone or everything to be able to make it there. Put yourself in this reality, and these are the facts. When they put you 6 feet under, and the dust, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, your story is given in a eulogy. We take a eulogy, you have the day you're born, the day you left your school, if you had a family, small stuff. And depending on the narrator, it could be a 1 minute and your eulogy is over and dust is thrown. People say he was a good person, some crocodile tears, some are saying, phew, my date has been sorted. I won't, all kinds of interesting characters. And that story is over. Now is your afterlife story from there. But on this earth, what was your worth? Was it just waking up, eating, drinking, living for people? What about you as a person? What do you like? What have you discovered about yourself? What have you been able to be involved in that brings out a part of you never knew? You see, the funny thing about 2020 and the reset button with the virus and all is many people got to know people's true characters. They are the ones who ran to have first, second, third shots. There are others who, like us, who are like, nope, nope, not getting involved in that. And there was a divide. Relationships were split. Companies fell. Everybody showed their true colors. It was like it was like one of those movies where it's like the whole world just stopped. And honestly, it did stop when you think about it. And life before the reset, and life after is very different. Um, Budgets before and budgets now are very different. Relationships then and relationships now are very different. Friendships now and friendships then were very different. Because before that, people would be able to easily lie a lot, pretend a lot. But after that, if you didn't have, for example, for those who didn't take the job, if you didn't have it, you are told stay away, you crazy, yada yada yada, and all those other names. And for relationships, that's when some people ended up discovering each other's true characters. That's when domestic violence went up the roof because now you're stuck in this person. And if you used to escape through going to events and everything, well, you can't go to any social event because it's locked. And people show who they really are. That's how those who have been married do say, for better or for worse. That's when they realize the cycles they have next to them. And sadly, many lost their lives, whether it was due to the virus or whether it was due to domestic violence or crime or just being in a cocoon for long. But there are others who thrived. That was when the podcast just started coming up. That's when people became confident. You could realize I could actually use my phone and be or my laptop and share something and someone else grows. So those are the positive turns because you think about it, people were locked in a cocoon. So but the internet was still strong. So people were able to find maybe I can connect and it grew. So there were, it's a double-edged sword depending on how you choose to look at it. To flipping a coin. And the reality is, at the end of the day, who are you as a person? So, yes, you hit your company target, fine. But if you get sick, your replacement is already on the door. If you, worse happens, you're already replaced. Your kids will wake up and no matter how much you give them at some point, they'll be like, they'll never have enough. Your partner will never have enough. But you as a person, what's your value? Because I don't think you're born just to serve, just to do things. There has to be something new. What do you like? What's the kind of things you've discovered? What kind of places you've gone where you don't need to always say, I'm going here or going there? What's your personal space? How small is your circle? The beauty about the internet is it has two sides of a coin. The positive side of a coin is there's a lot and a lot and a lot of information, which it needs discernment to be able to filter out bias and propaganda and get solid information. It's a whole needle in a haystack. The flip side of it is it's scary when you think about what people are capable of doing and will do and don't really care about the consequences that come. I mean, people out on all the social media live feeds. You're thinking, people are exposing things that they are doing that you thought, I thought this is like personal space kind of hygiene, or this is like your personal life. People are bringing their bedroom to their work, so everybody now knows their bedroom, knows their kids, knows their wife, knows their. I'm thinking, huh? Don't we like have like our own, thing like we are? And then the crazy part is validation from strangers. So you want to have followers or viewers or the comment section, and you want their validation to what you're doing. And now we can't even separate someone who is going through an actual mental health situation and someone who's trying to thrive off other people going through a mental health situation. At some point, you're left thinking, who is who? And sadly, those who are affected in any area in life now are in silence, and now we have a new breed. We cannot even figure it out. But with all that said and done, who are you as a person? What have you discovered about yourself? What is that one thing that you do if you are to put your phone off and to say, I'm just taking a walk? What are the things you can look back and say, I was able to do that? I didn't think I was able to, but by God's grace, I did. What's that one new menu you've tried, one ingredient, one thing menu you've tasted or drink or whatever it may be? What's that one thing you've learned about yourself that separates you from the crowd? Because at the end of the day, once you understand that a eulogy will be given, if I'll put if, because the way life is and the way we are going in the world, we really don't know what's going to happen next. But put in the if still. If, let's say, there is that moment, what will be the story? Because they only give you a eulogy. So is your life worth that simple eulogy that nobody will know your achievements and everything? Maybe there's something you should do about yourself. Learn, grow, challenge yourself. That thing that you fear, try it out as long as it's legal. Go and challenge your mind. Learn a new skill. Now, you can't say that you'll always go and to school and everything. I mean, you can't afford with the kind of budgets that you need. But you can exchange a skill for a skill. You can say, hey, I'm good at this. You are good at this profession. What if I showed you how I do my thing and you show me how you do? Or pay for a service. I say, fine, I will volunteer to do ABCD to be able to learn. For example, if someone is into the video editing and it's not your skill set, but I say, fine, I will learn how to do the camera, I will learn how to do the editing, and I'll go with you to this 1 or 2, 3, 4 events and learn. Because at the end of the day, you need to go back and ask yourself, what's your life worth? Because your life worth cannot be to be reliant or others dependent on you. You need to figure yourself out. You need to know what you love or what you like. You don't want to be an old, angry, bitter person who's angry at anything and everything. You see a fly, you want to smack it. You see a butterfly, you want to smack it down. You see this, you want to crush it. You're just angry, bitter, and everything because it didn't work out for you. Everyone has to suffer because sadly, misery loves company. And today, when you look at the type of information that we get online, you have to be very cautious because some of them, there's a lot of misery loves company playing along. So you need to ask yourself, what's my life worth? Why was I born? What was that thing that I want to do or I want to be? Or I was told I can never do, but I think I can do it at this point in time. challenge yourself, love yourself, try it out. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the world says. There's you. There's your DNA. There's you as a person. Have a circle very small. No one needs to know your life. I mean, you're living in a very interesting time where you're being shunned for not having friends, many friends, and you're thinking, so what? So the bigger I have, what? The quality? No. Just because they have many doesn't mean you'll have a quality friendship. In fact, you'll have the direct opposite. You need to have your circle smaller. You need to have your personal space. You need to have things that you love to do that are not equated to monetary value. Not everything has to be pegged to finances. That's something that you love, that you like. Go figure it out. You scared of heights, maybe you want to try hiking. Start small, and the next thing you know, you add it up a notch. Maybe you can take a short walk. You can start with 20 minutes, then 20, another time will be 40, another 40 will be 45, an hour and 20. One step, you find yourself going an extra mile. Because at the end of the day, no matter how much you give in this world, people will keep taking and people will keep complaining. And the moment you start thinking of yourself as a hero, that's when you hit the ground hard. Because that hero concept of trying to save everyone, remember this, no matter how many people you try to save, they still complain you never saved them better. You never arrived on time. So how much of you will you lose for the world? And the world will still complain. Those close to you will still say, you never did enough. You never came on time. You never. But if you hold them accountable, everybody is missing. Hold people accountable to their words. Keep people accountable to their actions. Know when to say yes and know when to say no. And without even being able to give an explanation. Once you're able to understand your worth and your value, nothing scares you anymore. People don't surprise you. Nothing shakes you anymore because you're like, you've given everyone, treating everyone with a pinch of salt. So you need to ask yourself as a person, what am I doing with me? What am I trying to learn? With all these technologies, when do I need to put it aside and just have a time? Read a book, take a walk, learn a skill, find something that does not really entail monetary value, because with not everything has to be pegged to shillings. Not everything has to be pegged to money. You can do something and have an amazing experience. You can go to a sporting event, an outdoor event, and zip line or whatever it may be that will work well with your health. You don't need to do something that will go the direct opposite. You have that fear of something, then go challenge yourself. Because at the end of the day, hero concept never works. You only have a burnout. You become lonely, you become angry. You give the world expectations and the world gives you expectations, but the one thing the world never gives you back is reality, because you're not a hero. You're a human being. You will make lapses of judgment. And we have this robot-like way of living. And we do it from our education system and life, where you use someone, you use until that person has zero value. And then when that person is on their lowest, say, oh, this was a good person, but he or she used to do A, B, C, D, and you're thinking, huh? Wasn't there any other value apart from what they benefited? Because the world will always want to benefit from you. What are you benefiting from the same world? Buy yourself something that you like, and you don't need to tell everyone everything that you're doing. Have your own life. Have your circle very, very, very small, where you can control the level of information. In the world that you're living in, with these technologies, with these globalist affairs, and all these things that are happening in the world, because sometimes you want to open and check something online, you just put your phone off and you earn nothing. Figure something out that you like, get into it, try it, make mistake, good, learn something new. Because once you understand that once a eulogy is read, that's the only story they have of you. But no one has the story of you. So be the one to write your story. Be the one to write your biography. I'm not saying literally, but you as a person, be the one to tell the page of your story by the life that you live. Take risks, go, try it out, know your value, because there are people who are in relationships that once a relationship ends, they have to jump into a new one because they've never really learned how to be alone. So they're codependent on a relationship. There are people who are very tied to their companies. They don't know when to reset from if their boss tells them, beat it. They don't know that they can live outside that dome that they're in of their workplace. They're scared out here. So they'll do anything to stay in there, but they never know their value outside. You may, someone is showing you there's a lake where there's water, but you've confined your mind and you want a small or a small area where there's water. It's like a ditch kind of. But someone is giving you there's a lake. Someone is giving a khaki, but you're very comfortable in that small area where someone is driving, someone has diminished your value, and you're like, I think I like this small area. Which one of us has something special that makes us stand out? But until you figure that out, you have to dissociate. You have to learn to isolate. You have to learn to be able to look at life from a different angle, to be able to figure who you are. Because you will never know yourself if you're always reliant on information from the outside. How will you know to love if you've never loved yourself? How will you know to care if you never cared about yourself? How will you know your strengths and your weaknesses if you've never done a self-analysis, if you've never looked from within yourself? Even our Lord Jesus Christ was able to set himself apart and be like, nope, disappeared in moments. Each one of us needs to know that there comes a time when you need to isolate, and it's not a bad thing. Society always wants you have to have people, and if you don't do that, oh, you're this bad person, you're crazy, you're a dangerous person. Maybe the society is crazy enough that you just want to, keep your distance. Not everybody wants their life out there. I mean, considering nowadays everybody wants to put their dirty linen everywhere for views, for for views and for promoting things that I would never thought we'd reach here anyway. That's where we are in the world. Who had seen that coming? But there's so much you can do for yourself if you take the time to figure it out. Pray, ask God, why am I here? What can I do? Except exclusive of what I'm to do to the world. As a person, learn your strength, learn your weakness. Put your phone off, switch off from everything. Take a walk. You don't need to explain everywhere you are going. Because at the end of the day, once you understand that a simple sheet of paper will write your name, the day you are born, your parents, the school, and everybody will be like, oh, she was a good person. Oh, la, 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 la. Oh, ni, 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 ni. And they all go by 3 p.m. Everyone is, I'm out. And there you are, in the dust. So there's something more to you than what you think. But you never know if you're dependent on anyone or any validation from any external. Have time, spend time, figure it out, isolate if you have to, until you figure out what you need to do. Because at the end of the day, look at it this way. For if you're into farming, this when you are tilling the land until the soil breaks, that's when it will start. Until the clouds break, that's when the rain will come. So you have to have your breaking moment, and that's until when you're separated, when you're isolated, when you're trying to figure your life out. Then you can be able to know your value, because each one of us has something special. You don't need external validation to be told you're this, you are that, you are everything, because people will tell you what they want to tell you, but doesn't mean they mean it. Some people will tell you because, well, they just want to say it. Doesn't mean they mean it. But once you know your value and your worth, there are things you stop tolerating. So My hope and prayer is each one of us in this journey of life, in this tumultuous time that we are living in, we all get to figure ourselves out in the right way, in the best way. And that once you can figure yourself out, if everybody isolates you, you'll have no problem. You will be cool beans. Because at the end of the day, when all is said and done, there's more to you than being born and living this world. And the only thing you say is, I woke up, I dreamt, I slept, I did this, I did that. Then what? Your kids will move on. Your partner will move on. Your house, someone will have to live in there. But what about you? So once you figure out what you need in your life, everything else will start making a sense. The smaller the circle, the safer. The bigger the crowd, the more vulnerable you become. I hope you all figure yourselves out in this journey of life.